The following segment is sponsored by North Star Financial and Retirement Planning.
$1 million. That is how much many Americans think they're supposed to save for a successful retirement, but are they chasing the right number? Joining us now are George Fossing and Zach Jenkins. George is an advisor, a fiduciary, and the president of North Star Financial. Zach is also an advisor and fiduciary with North Star. North Star Financial and Retirement Planning is a local firm that focuses on helping people prepare for a successful and worry-free retirement. George and Zach are also popular radio show hosts, and they are with us now. Good morning.
Good morning, Margaret. How are you?
Great. Good to see you. You know, it sounds good, but is $1 million the magic number when it comes to saving for retirement?
That's certainly a good start for anybody, right? It's a good number. The problem with that, it might be defeating for somebody to say, well, I don't have close to that. I don't, that's not achievable. Really, it really comes down to your own personal economy. How much money are you going to need in retirement? Zach focuses on Social Security planning. It's one of his strengths. And taking that into account is a big help. But sometimes it's just not enough. So you have your retirement accounts, your 401ks and IRAs and such. You can depend on that. The problem is it's going to be taxable when you start taking that money out. And the rule of thumb is you can usually take out 4 to 5% per year out of that account without fear of outliving it. So it comes out to maybe $40,000 to $50,000 on $1 million. But again, Uncle Sam's going to take a good bite out of that. So you need to be aware of that.
Right. Well, in your years in the business, I know you've worked with a lot of people and they have spent a lot of time and energy chasing that goal of a specific number. What should they be doing instead?
Well, I wouldn't say instead. I'd say, to build off of that too, is to look at the overall plan. You know what a happy retirement looks like is being able to sleep at night. It's 8 hours of sleep, not worrying. What do you need to be aware of? The biggest fear for people is making sure you have enough money to last your retirement. And if you're married, that's even especially more so, making sure you don't outlive it. There's a good chance one spouse might live to the mid-90s. Who knows? So, you take care of that. Take care of your income first, making sure that's lifetime and bulletproof is a good place to start. And you take some other things into account. So
it's interesting too, Margaret. We've actually had people come in here with spreadsheets, and they've got this number, this odd number in there, and they say, "Hey, this is my number. This is what I've got to have."
They're called engineers.
Yeah, and we get a lot of engineers, and some of them come in here with spreadsheets, and they've got a number in mind, and that's cool that they're working towards. And some people come in and like, "Hey, I've heard about a magic number, and I don't know what my magic number is. How do I find it?" And we help them.
Yeah, so it's all over the spectrum.
And you can help them to figure out where they need to be, but it's hard to know what's going to happen next in this country in terms of the stock market and the economy. And that's why you say when you're approaching retirement, it's more important than ever to avoid big losses, right?
That's a huge component out there. It's basically, and I say it again, sleeping at night, making sure you don't have to worry about the market. A lot of times you'll have, especially with a married couple, one spouse might be more aggressive, if you will, more market driven. The other spouse might be, I'm really scared of the stock market and I want something safe and secure. So where we come in and help people is to help build that model, if you will, their own personal plan, just to really address both. A lot of respect to both. You want growth, but you also want safety, and coming up with that combination is huge. It's not complicated. A lot of people feel, well, I don't have enough money, or I really haven't really thought about it, so we don't want to talk about it or address it. We tell people that's our job. That's why we help people in the community is come in, let's talk about your concerns, what you need to know and be aware of. And let's start with that. And it should be a fun experience.
And let's talk about this. When our money is working as hard for us as we did for it, what can that mean for the lifestyle?
Well, it just sounds good, right? You want to be the master of your money and not the other way around. You don't want to be that person staying up and saying, oh, what's the market going to do? And oh, it doesn't do well, we can't do this. And that's a choice, people make, quite frankly. You got to go in there and say, listen, money is a tool. It's not going to bring you happiness at all. And the happiness comes from your family and your church, and et cetera, your faith. That's what that's about. It's simply there to be able to help you achieve the goals you want to achieve. And again, make you sleep at night. Make no bones about it. We all need money. It's important. But it's simply a tool. So when you build this, it's really a holistic approach, which would be, what are you trying to achieve? And so, we just don't want to worry. We want to be able to not outlive it and make sure our kids and grandkids are okay and be able to take those vacations and such. And we simply, there's
just putting a plan. It usually takes, what, an hour or two?
If
A
that.
couple hours.
Mhm.
We'll sit down and kind of steer people in the right direction. But it goes back to your question with the money. The stock market doesn't love me, doesn't love you, doesn't love Zach. It's simply a tool. It's a way to accumulate growth and wealth out there, but it'll turn on you pretty quick.
Yep.
It's happened. And a lot of people are fearful right now. Margaret, think the market's overvalued. Well, there's a certain amount of truth to that. So if you have enough money right now, maybe take a knee, take some winnings off the table, put it into a safe harbor. These are usually pretty wise words. It's worked in the past.
Yep.
So,
Well, I think it's reassuring the way the two of you can come on here and make it make sense. So George and Zach, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Margaret. Appreciate it.
And for those of you at home, if you are currently retired or getting close to retirement and would like to learn more about how to help protect and grow your hard-earned savings and investments, North Star Financial has a great offer for you. Right now until March 31st, they're offering a complimentary, no obligation investment portfolio and tax planning review. This will allow their team to schedule a phone call, video call, or future in-office meeting so they can speak with you personally and provide you with a roadmap going forward. The number to call now, 309-8146.